talking about user defined functions part 2, and we are going to discuss about how to invoke a function, static versus non-static functions, pure functions and impure functions, as well as um, actual parameters and formal parameters, recursions, call by value and call by reference, and what are the side effects of call by reference. So now I'll show you how to invoke our functions. So let's start a class. Let's write a class. Maybe class name is invoking. Okay, and let's drag it here. I've opened it. Now let's clear all the by default code for invoke public class invoke. Let me increase the size little bit. Okay, I can also take use of the preference tab, and from here I can directly put the key. Okay, so now I think it is a little bit more readable. And here, so I'm going to create our functions which will display the factors. So public void. Now I'm not going to return anything, that's why I've written void, and now factors factors, and I need to show the factors of a number. So now I need a number, so that's why I'm taking a parameter integer num. So now I'll try to display all the factors. So how I'll do it, I'll start a loop from 1, and the loop will be continued up to the number, and every time I'll increase the value of I by 1. And here I'll try to see if the number mod I equal to 0, if that means if the number is divisible by uh, the current number of the loop, that means 1 2 3 4 5, the sequential number up to the number, then it will be a factor. So if it is, then definitely I'm going to display it here. So I'll write the I, and I can also check the functions for time being, then later. So I'll close it, and if you right click you cannot see the functions, just because it is a non-static functions. So to use it, I need to create an object, maybe invoke one. Okay, good. Now with the help of the object I can able to run. So when I right click here, you can see finally the factors function came, and I can hit maybe 16. So you can see for the 16, 1 2 4 8 and 16 itself, these are the factors of 16. So now this factors function, it is able to display the factors of a number, maybe 20. So 1 2 4 5 10 and 20. Okay, so it is working fine, and now how to invoke, how to use these functions from a different function, this is the main or important part here, and I'm going to show you. So here I'll write main function, the standard one. Okay, and here I am going to use the scanner class. Okay, and here I'll take and I'll create an object of scanner class. So I have created an object. I can make some comment over here. So now finally I'll ask my user for a number. Please enter a number. So user will enter something and I'll catch it. So I'll write integer a equal to sc dot next int. So I have a number over here and I'm going to display the factors of this number. So if I'm going to write here the factors 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 and simply I want to put the a, it will give me an error. Just see, yes, so it will give you an error just because it will say the non-static method factors cannot be referenced from a static context. Yes, see, this is a static context. Here I have mentioned it's a static. So since it's a static context, I cannot call a non-static context from a static zone. Okay, so I'll come to this matter later. So for now I'll show you how to invoke a non-static function from a static zone. So definitely I have to create an object of this class. So then class name is invoke, so I'll write invoke obj equal to new invoke. Okay, so here I have created an object, and with the help of the object I can able to, when I'll write obj dot factors, it will not give any error. So now I'm able to run this factors function, and when I'll close and I'll run, you can see when I'll run the main function, it will ask me to put something. So it is asking me to put a number, maybe I'm giving 50. So now it will be able to display all the factors of 50. Okay, so this is how we are invoking a function. So you can see I'm just creating an object of this class, and here calling the function using object. Okay, so I hope you got the idea how to invoke an object, and not only one time, you can do it for multiple time if you would like to do it. Suppose I'm writing this factors factors, a manual number of 100, and also object dot factors, a manual number of 8. So I'm just running some random numbers over here, and I'm trying to see the factors. Maybe I'm giving a 9, and again I'm giving 11. Okay, so I have called this factors function from 1 2 3 4 5 times from here. Okay, so let's see, let's close it and let's run the main function once again and see. When I run the main function, maybe the first time I have given something to enter by the user, so I'm writing 500, and also you can see not only 500, it is also giving the factors of other number too. But here one problem that I have not mentioned the number which we want to see the factors, so it is just creating some maze over here. So what I can do, you can see I'll change in one place and it will get affected everywhere. So before just starting the factors, I'll try to simply display a message that factors of num and one colon. That's all. So when I'll close it, I'll try to run the same. I'll put 500 over here, and you can see it is showing me the factors of 500 are, these are the factors of 500. Now factors of 100, this is manually I have called factors of 100, and then factors of 8, 1 2 4 and 8, factors of 9, 1 3 and 9, factors of 11 is 1 and 11. Now one more important part we should know it. It is the actual parameter and formal parameter. Now I have opened my previous code, and from here you can see this is a factors program, and here we have a parameter, right? And the parameter we are writing integer num. So this is known as the formal parameter just because it is a form only. It don't have any particular literal value. But if we are coming here down from where we are calling those function, this function, sorry, factors, here you can see I am just passing some or writing some real value, that means some literal. Okay, here I have written 11, here I have written 9, 800 and one variable. So This parameter is known as actual parameter, where this one is known as formal parameter. Formal parameter don't have any value actually, but where we are passing the value through the actual parameter. Okay, now we will talk about non-static functions versus static functions. Okay, so let's open the previous code over here, and I'll just try to copy the whole code, and I'll, I'll just copy it so I can use it in my next term. So I have given a name ns, where I'll write a class ns non-static and static. The difference I'll show it here, or I can make it very simple also if you want. So I'll write here. So I'll create static functions and a non-static functions too, and I'll show you how to incorporate them. So I have written public void display, a display function, where it will display my name, system, or the school name, system.out.println. So it is showing SFS school girl C. Okay, just a very simple function. So it is a non-static function, you can see. And similarly I'll write public static void display2, where it's a static function. So similarly it will display something else, SFS school. That's enough. Okay, sorry, I made a uh, spelling mistake. Now it is fine here. So you can see I have created a display function which is a non-static, because I have not mentioned any static shown here, and the next context is the static, just because I have mentioned a static keyword over here. Now I'm going to invoke them. So I'm writing here public static void main, and here I'll write. So here you can see I can easily call display2 and compile it. It will give you no error, just because this is also a static context and display2 is also a static context. So if you run the main function right now, you can see it is displaying the SFS school, and also since these two are static, no need to require no need to create an object, or it doesn't require any kind of object to run them. You can see when you just do a right click, it will directly show these two functions in this context menu, so you can directly run any of these functions. Okay, so now one more thing, have you ever noticed that this we have a display function also, but when we are just doing a right click, it is not showing over here, just because it is a non-static functions. So you must remember that static is a memory initializer. This static keyword is a memory initializer, which means all the static functions or methods or variables will be loaded automatically when it will run. When you will run a function, all the static methods, variables, it will be automatically loaded. But the non-static fields are not being automatically loaded. You need an object to load them. Okay, so now I'm going to display how I'm going to show you how to use this display function. So if I'm writing this display again over here, and try to compile, it will give an error. So the method is you have to create an object of this uh, class. So I'm just writing ns object equal to new ns. Now with the help of this obj object, I can able to run this function. So you can see now it is giving no error and it is successfully being called from the main function. And when you when you try to run the main function, it will display the display2 as well as the display function. So it is showing SFS school and SFS school girls see both. So this is the difference between a static context and a non-static context. Now one more thing I am going to show you, public void. I'm going to write one more non-static context over here, public void I am. So I'm just writing a function I am, and here it will display hi, this is Paritosh Bag. So it is just displaying my name, and I'm going to call this I am function from this non-static context. So you can see I have no error. I can easily refer a non-static zone from a non-static zone or context easily without the help of an object. Okay, so now you can see with the display function it is also linked to a I am function, and whenever you will run the main function, it will display SFS school, the display2 function, as well as the hi, this is Paritosh Bag, and the SFS school girl C. Okay, now we'll talk about pure functions and impure functions. An impure function is always changing the state of its object. Okay, so when a function changes the state of an object, it is known as impure function. And when a function doesn't change the state of an object, it is known as pure functions. So we'll see what is a pure function and what is an impure function. So let's come back to the BlueJ environment, and I'll close my previous code, and we'll try to create pure and impure pi. So I have given a short form pure and impure pi. Now I have removed all the code, and I'll write here public class pi, that means pure impure, where I'll just write over here a documentation. So I'll write here this is an example of pure and impure functions. Okay, now maybe I'm just trying to create an object or maybe a class of books. So I'll write here uh, string name, that means name of the book, and then I'll create integer pages. Okay, and string author. So here I have created a string which is the author, and similarly now we have three variables here, and we will see the how pure function it works, and impure function it is changing the state of an object. So now we will try to see with the example of pure functions or maybe the examples of impure functions. Now see here. So now I'm going to create an function here. So we have a static functions. I can keep the static or non-static, it doesn't matter, but since I want to show you directly, I'm just keeping it static. So we have a static method over here. So it is the maybe display, and this function is just displaying the details of the book. That's what I want. So I'll display the name of the book over here, and similarly all the related data like the author name and the number of pages. Okay, so I'm just keeping the program short so that we can finish it within the time, and you will get the main idea of what I want to say. And over here, so now I'm done with the pure function. Okay, so you can see whenever this function will get called display, it will not change the state of an object. You can see the state of an object actually defined by the variables. So I have one more work here to do. I need to create a constructor. So I'll just create a constructor, string n, integer p, and string author. So here I'll mention this with the this dot name equal to n, this dot pages equal to p, and this dot author equal to a. So what I'm doing here, actually I have created an constructor, and now I'm taking some variable from the user and I'm just assigning them with the variable of this object. So when I'm writing a this keyword, actually it refers to the current class or the current object. So when I'll write something or when I'll pass something with the n variable, it will get assigned with the name. When I'll pass something with p, it will assign with the letter, it will be assigned with the pages, and similarly the author. So I have all the values here, and so let's keep it non-static context so it will be easier for you. Now you can see from the display function it is showing the name, author, and pages. Okay, so now let's close and run it. So when I'm closing the pi functions over here, and you can see I need to create an object. So when I'm going to create an object, actually it is getting it is invoking the constructor. And when I'll pass something, maybe the book name is maybe Thousand Splendid Sun, or maybe some storybook, I forgot, maybe the manual, okay, or maybe the Harry Potter, the Harry, I forgot the spelling also, sorry for that. So the Harry, okay, the book name is Harry, and now the I'll put some pages, maybe 505, and the author is maybe let's write the name, maybe I'm not putting my name, okay, I forgot. This okay, so now I have given some value over here in the constructor panel. Now when I'll create the object, you can see actually the PL1 object is created, sorry, PI1 object is created. And when you will go here and do a right click, it will show a context menu, and you can see the display function, it is coming here. How many times you run this display function, it will display you the all the state of the object. So now it is showing you the name is the Harry, author is the Paritos, and the page is 505. So if you run this function 1,000 times or million times, billion times, trillion times, it doesn't matter. It will display or it will keep the state of the object same. Okay, so that's why this function is known as pure functions. Now I am going to create an impure function, and I'll demonstrate how it will change the state of an object. So now let's do it. Now let's write public void, maybe one more display function, display2 over here, and okay, so earlier also we gave the same name. Now, so what I'll do first, I'll write this dot pages equal to 0. Okay, similar, so simply I have written something here, and I'm just showing all the thing here. Okay, or maybe this dot pages multiply by 10. Okay, so I have written here something, this dot pages equal to this dot pages multiplied by 10. Okay, and here maybe one more line, this dot name equal to this dot name plus hello. Okay, so now I am done with the display2 function, and the same way I am going to create an object. Maybe object name is my book, and here I'll write the Harry, and maybe page number is 101, and or maybe okay, nice, good. So and the author is Mr. Paritosh. So when I'll run this function, you can see my book function is create, sorry, object is created. And if you do a right click, it will show a display function. So I'll run this display function 2 times to show you that it is not actually changing any value over here. But when I'll run the display to function, you can see the value it is getting changed. The Harry hello, sorry, here one hello is being added at the end of the name, and also the pages it is getting multiplied by 10. So if you run it once again, it will again change the state of the object. You can see one more hello here is being added, and the pages number also it is being increased. So but if you run the display, you can see it is keeping the same value. It is not changing anything. Whatever the state it is keeping the same. It is not playing with the state of an object. Okay, but if you run this display function too, it is actually changing the value. So this is the example of pure functions and impure functions. So now we will talk about recursions. Okay, when a function call itself from its own body, it is known as recursion. It's a kind of loop. Actually, it creates a kind of loop, and inside the recursion, there is 2 points. Okay, one is the base point, and another one is the recursion point. Base point means when program stops, and the recursion point means when the program it is calling itself. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one example. Actually I'll show you the both. Okay, how we can do it with using the loop, and how we can do it without loop and using the recursion. Okay, so now let's get started. So I have given a name RDC. Okay, so here I'll write public class recursion, and sorry, okay, wait, so yes, public class recursion. So I have created a class recursions. Now here I'll do functions, maybe public static void um, factorial. Okay, so here I'll take an uh, integer number. Okay, and here I'll write. So I'm just going to display the factorial of a number. So maybe integer f equal to 1, and one for loop I'm taking integer 1, or maybe a while loop will be enough. While the number is greater than 0, it will just try to do f multiply equals to number, and I can put a number minus minus, so every time it will be it will just okay, and at the end of the program it will just display or just put return, no problem, just return f. So since I'm giving a return statement, I'll remove this one and I'll write integer. Okay, so let's see whether it is giving the correct factorial or not. Maybe 3, so it will give you 6, very good. And if it is 4, it will give you 24, very good. If it is 5, it will give you 120. Okay, good. So here also using the loop I am doing it. What I am doing here, I am taking a factorial variable and I am taking a while loop. It will start from the number and it will go up to 1. So it is a decremental loop, and here I am writing factorial multiplied equals to number, and also I am just decreasing the number each time by 1. So I am writing a postfix decremental operator here. So when I'm done with the loop, I'm just returning the value f here. So I'm just returning the value f. Now when I'll run this function, it will create a variable f. It will create this one, this loop, and it will return. Now similar, the same thing we can do with the help of recursion, where we will not use any kind of loop. So I'm going to write same function public static integer. Here I'll give the name fact, and I'll take integer same, the variable number. Okay, so I'll create the base point first. So here also you can see when I'm 0, I'm just returning from there. So this is a base point, so I'll write when the number equal to 0, it will return 1. Okay, and if it is not, then what I'll do, I'll return number, and again it will be multiplied with, I'll call the same program where I'll put number minus 1. So I'm done here. So you can see here I have written more, but here the logic is very simple. So every time it will be number and the multiplied with the number minus 1. So it is calling this function, it is calling itself the whole context. It is calling, or it is getting called by itself. Okay, the whole context. But I'm just passing the value decremented by 1. So if I'm running this fact function, you can see it will also give you the similar result. So when I write 5, it will give you 120, and when you will write you will try to run with the factorial 5, it will give you the same result. Okay, but here I am using the recursion method, but here I am using the loop. Okay, or the iterations, you can say. So this is very simple using the recursion, and recursion can do the same job loop can do, but loop cannot do the job what recursion can do. Okay, because recursion, it's a very important thing, and it's a very much logical. Okay, so you can see I'm just, so I have to do a repetitive task. So why not, so that's why I'm writing number multiplied by, again I'm calling the function, and I'm just passing number minus 1. Okay, so how it will run, if I'm giving 5, so it will write 5 multiplied by, again factorial number plus 1, then 5 plus 1, so it will be 4. So next time what it will do, it will write 5, that means it will carry forward 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by factorial 3. Now we are going to discuss about call by value and call by reference. This is the most important topic in this chapter. Okay, because I think it's a complex part also for you to understand the entire part, but please try to clear the this portion one by one. Okay, and if you are having any issues, you can ask me. Call by value and call by reference, what is that actually? So call by value means when we are calling a function by value, when we are passing something from the actual parameter to the formal parameter, and if anything it is getting changed in the formal parameter, it will not affect the caller scope. That means it will not affect the actual parameter. Whatever you are passing and whatever it is happening in that particular function, it will not change the main data. Okay, so this is the thing I'm going to show you. I will show you one example of call by value. Here also I have written, you can see in the call by value, the modification done to the parameter passed does not reflect in the caller scope, while in the call by reference, the modification done to the parameter passed are persistent and changes are reflected in the caller scope. Okay, so in the following example, I'll show you how we are doing, how we are just doing or creating and call by value functions. Okay, so now let's see. Now we will create a function for call by to demonstrate you the call by value. So call by value cbf. Okay, good. So public class cbf, sorry, call by value cbv. Okay, so call by value, and here what I'll do, I'll create a maybe integer public static void main, and here instead of main I'll do something. I'll write this one. Swap. I'll try to do a swap function, and where in the parameter I'll take two variable, integer a and integer b. Okay, so here I'll write from the swap function. I'll just display the value so that because I'm going to show you a magic, so that's why I'll show you all the value so there will be no confusion. Swap function, so it is telling the value of a is a, and the value of b will be b. So I'll just display the from the from the swap function how it is actually working. Okay, now swap start. Okay, and when I'll done, I'll write swap done, swap start, and swap finishd finished. So or done, maybe it will be more. So when I now I'll take a third variable, integer c, equal to, maybe I'll write integer a, and a will be b, and b will be c. Okay, so you can see any variable I'm just giving here, it will be swapped, and their positions will be swapped. So let's see, let's run this swap functions. Maybe first place I'm giving 20, second place 50, so a is 20, b is 50. So you can see, so when we are starting the swap, a is 20, b is 50, and when I'm done, it is showing a is 50, b is 20. So I'm done here. It is actually swapping the values. Very good. Now I'll create a main function over here, and public static void main. Here also, so I'll use a util, import java.util. Okay, and I'll create a scanner class, system.in, and here I'll take also two variable, integer a, so sc.nextInt, and integer b equal to sc.nextInt. Okay, so I'll write to my user, I'll just tell them to just give me a value. So enter a value, enter a number for a, so he will enter something for a, and similarly here I'll say once more, enter something for b, enter a number for b, so they will enter something for b. Okay, so I'm done here. So I have two number. Okay, now I want to, here also I want to show you the value of real a and b over here. So from the main function, main values, so what is the value of a and b, it will display. Okay, and here I'll call this function, this swap function, sorry, this swap function, and I'll write a comma b, so I'm just passing them over here. And after this also I'll write main values starts, so before swap, and this is the after swap. Okay, so here you can see a is showing the only a and b is b. So what I'm trying to do here, when user will enter something, I'm just displaying them, hey, this is the value of a and this is the value of b. And when I'm done with the swapping, I'll display, hey, this is the value of a now, and this is the value of b now after the swap. Okay, and when I'll call the swap function also, it will display itself when the swapping start, what is the value of a and b, what is the value, and at the end what is the value of a and b. So let's close this one and let's run it. So when I run the main function, it is asking me to give it the two number. So a is 1 and b is 2. So you can see the main values before swap, it is a is 1 and b is 2. And when it is starting the swap, a is 1 and b is 2. And when it is done with the swap, a is 2 and b is 1, just it is swapped. But you can see the main values remain same. The main values after swap, it is the same like the before swap, and after swap it is the 1 and 1. So all the changes, it is being made here inside the call by value functions. It is not changing the caller scope. Okay, so now let's back to the code and let's try to understand the working methodology. So here when user is entering something, the a and b, I am just displaying the main values of a and b, and after that I am calling the swap function and I am passing this value a and b. So it is this calling function, and you can see it is calling, so number a is 1, b is 2, so it is telling the swap start a is 1, b is 2. So it is doing a changes, and changes is being done locally, not the globally or not to the caller scope. So it is getting changed only here, okay, only in the formal parameter. Now it is also showing you the swap done and the value of a is 2 and the value of b is 1. But after that, when we are again displaying the value of this local a and b, it is showing the same, the value of a is 1 and the value of b is 2. So this is the example of call by value. Okay, so let's come to the conclusion. In the call by value, whatever changes made in the formal parameter, so you can see we are making a changes, we are just swapping the value of a and b in the formal parameter with these two value, with this, sorry, with these two variable, but it is only affecting here, it is not affecting the main here, the main functions a and b, because call by value never affects the caller scope. Okay, I hope you understand. So now I'll show you an example of call by reference. So let's create another what I'll do here, I'll create an object separately so it will be very easy to understand. So I'm creating an object, or maybe a class number to hold an object. So okay, I have the same here, sorry for that. So I have a number already here. So what I'll write, my number, it is fine. Okay, so my number, a class. So inside my number, it will be a very simple class, public class my number, and here I'll take a variable integer, or maybe a public static integer number. Okay, small letter, it will be fine, number. And here also I'll create an constructor, const or uct or constructor, and here I'll write public my number, and here it will work like this. So here I'll take some variable integer n, and I'll write this dot number equal to number. So whatever number will be passed through this parameter, through this object parameter, or the constructor, you can say, it will be assigned with a number. So it is a very simple class, only holding one variable, and constructor is there to put some or to feed some value. So now I'll create a class of call by reference, CBR. So from this CBR, I'll actually use this object, because you know reference means a non-primitive data type. So here I have you created already a non-primitive data type, or an object. So now I'll write public class CBR, and it will actually write I'll try to write a swap function, public static void swap. So here I'll do the same thing also. So what was the class name? My number, right? So instead of a variable, now I'll use a sorry, I'll use a reference type data type, that means a non-primitive data type. Okay, so my number A and my number B, so I'm creating two object over here, my number A and B. Okay, so I'll write integer C will be, or maybe sorry, my number C will be new my number. Okay, and here, so but earlier you can see I was just assigning A over here, so I can write A dot number, so the variable was the number. Okay, and here I'll write that A dot number will be, now I'll just change, so I'll write B dot number, and B dot number will be C dot number. Okay, so it is done here, so I can change the swap. Now I'll come here, I'll create a main function, public static void main, and here I'll, so let's show it like last time we did. It will be little bit easier for you. So if you see all the number just before, sorry, so here I'll write before swap, the value of A will be, or just put a symbol like this, sorry, cursor is getting here and there. Okay, and it's going here and there, sorry. um, so here I'll write A dot number, and now the value of B is B dot number. Actually earlier I was using a variable directly, but here I'm just using an object. Okay, and definitely I'm using a variable, but from an object, not directly. So since it's an object, it's a reference, it's a non-primitive data type. So this is the before swap, and this is the after swap. Okay, and this is the after swap. So it will just display the numbers. So now similarly, I'm here, I will not use a scanner class, I don't want to make the program lengthy. So here I'll create two objects A and B locally. So it will be my number A will be new my number, and here I'll put maybe 12. Okay, and similarly my number B will be new my number, and here maybe I'll put 32. No, something, let's put something different, 99. Okay, so A is I'm creating an object A, and inside there is a num variable, and the variable will be 12, the value will be 12, and for the B it will be 19, sorry, 99. So I have two things, I want to display them, so I'll just copy here because I'm very lazy. I don't want to write it once again, I have written here. So I'll write main, just write I'll main, so I can understand this is the main value. Just let me put it here, and I'll do a swap. So swap, and here I'll pass the object of A and object of B. So this is the A and B, that means this is this object and this object, I'm just passing them. Okay, and after passing also I'll display the main value, main before swap, and here I'll write main after swap. Okay, we did the same programming but using an object. Last time we did with the primitive variable. Now let's close it. So we're done with the programming. Only thing we have to change a little bit here. and the BlueJ environment, sorry, in the my functions here I have made a static. I have to remove this static, otherwise it will hold the same value. So now it is done. So for the you can once more time, I just want to revise the code. So I have a my number, I have a my number class. There is only one variable, it is the number, and I have a constructor to assign. So whenever I am passing something with the constructor, actually it is getting initialized with the number. So let's close it. Let's come back to the CBR, and here I have did a swap function same way, and I have taken two values 12 and 99, and passing them to the reference A and B. So let's compile, close, and run the main function. So you can see before main swap, A was 12 and B was 99. So before swapping also, A is 12, B is 99. Very good. After swap, A became 99 and B became 12. So it is just swap the number. But also you can see it's changed the main value, it changed the main object. Now A became finally 99 and B became 12, while earlier before starting the swapping they were 12 and 99. Now it is 99 and 12. So this is the pass by reference. Okay, so let's come to the conclusion. When it's a pass by reference, it will change the color scopes, it will affect the color scope. Okay, so whatever changes it is done in the formal parameter, it will affect. So we are changing, you can see here we are changing here in the formal parameter A and B, but it will change the actual parameter also. This one is A and B, so it will change these two. So A will be 99 and B will be 12. Okay, so we are done with the chapter user defined functions. We have covered all the topics. Now we will start practicing all the programs from the next lecture. Okay, thank you so much.